Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm Steve Braddock, your host. Hope you're doing well this morning. Thank you for being with us. We're very pleased to have a person that was last on pre-pandemic, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Demarcus Copeland is in the studio. Good morning, Demarcus.
Good morning.
We were interrupted by something called COVID, and I had meant to have you come back, on a regular basis. And, well, we just got a little sidetracked.
Understood.
But you're founder and CEO of Impact, and that's capital M-PACK, which stands for Molding Passionate, Active, Creative Kids.
That's right.
So I know a lot of people in the community know you already, but for some of our audience that does not, give us a little bit about your background.
So I've been in formal education, just working with after-school programs and different programs that are centered around kids for about 10 years now, and it just cultivated an idea during that time. Grew up in Carrollton. I love Carrollton. Don't know if I'll die or retire in Carrollton, but I do love Carrollton. It's a very nice place. So
yeah, I think I know where I'm going to die or retire. Go ahead.
But yeah, I went to Central High School, graduated, then just did a lot of exploring and trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, and I got really into just childcare and educating children and trying to get them to that next level. So. But
there's also a little bit of a story with you and golf. You're being a Trojan and all of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I was, we had a substitute teacher named Sam Neely. He came in and he just asked me, did I want to learn how to play golf? And I told him, yeah. And he taught at-risk kids. So working with him with at-risk kids really helped cultivate that vision of we need to help more kids. There's a lot of kids, and I didn't know that there were certain skills in golf that could help them in other ways. So that really helped me look at there's more to life than just baseball, football, stuff like that, the normal sports that you just play in the yard, because you have wonderful team sports, but they just don't teach a lot of things like chess and golf and stuff. So
I remember how you described golf. I mean, there's a lot of I never thought about it this way. A lot of strategy. A lot of planning. It's 4 hours on a course, maybe.
Yep. It's all strategy, because if you walk up and you think you're going to just hit that ball 300-400 yards consistently, you'll learn very quick. You might do it once or twice and get a really good hit, but it's going to be all about what can I do? What do I know that I can do? And I think that's what we try to teach. Well, not I think. That's what we try to teach the kids. When you play golf, what do you know you can do? What 3 hits you know you can hit every time? If it's 50 yards, then that's 150 yards you know you're going to get. And if the hole is 300 yards, you've gotten rid of half of it. But if it's a par 3, it's just so much to it. But the strategizing aspect of it is what really gets them to use their mind.
Well, give us, I know you don't have it in front of you, but I imagine you can pretty much recite it. Give us the mission vision statements of
our mission,
Impact.
Okay, our mission is to provide therapeutic interventions for kids who suffer from adverse childhood experiences. And we try to help with social emotional learning. That's our primary goal, to help with social emotional learning. And our vision right now, it's gotten a whole lot more, it's bigger. Our goal is to be just in the school system more than we have been. Our vision is to just be partnered with school systems, helping teachers and the students at the same time gain a better relationship.
And your logo reflects the mission and vision.
Yes, thinking outside of the box.
Right.
Yeah, self-awareness, mindfulness, and wholeness is kind of what we're trying to cultivate, where the kids, we believe if a kid is aware of them and their history and, that like my household, it's 18 years of my life, and then I've got to get out. And once I get out, the rest of my life is up to me. And it, with trauma and everything being huge, we can see the effects of a household and how bad it can be. But we can also see that there are adults that are very successful who came from extremely traumatic household. So not to just get rid of the idea that, about trauma, but we can thrive beyond our traumatic beginnings. And I think teaching resilience is going to be the key for this generation.
You call it adverse childhood experiences, but it seems like, I guess we've all known, tragically and sadly, if these adverse childhood experiences are not dealt with in early life, they will follow a person all through adulthood.
Yeah, but intervention can happen in multiple ways. Like, you can have intervention for adverse child experiences. Like, let's say a kid grows up in a very abusive home with a dad who's an alcoholic and a mom and dad arguing, and that's an adverse child experience. But then that kid turns 16, goes to work at McDonald's and meets the best boss who comes from a two-parent household and who believes in that child and really helps that child by giving them more hours and saying, okay, I want you to, be in management. So there's so many indirect interventions within society that we can come up with, things to mitigate the effects while they're children. And then if society continues to be like this place where we can offer livable wages, a livable wage can be an intervention for an adverse child experience, because they may not have ever experienced their parents living, with a livable wage. So, but yes, adverse child experiences, if it's not dealt with soon and then they continue to hit, like, let's say the other alternative is they go to McDonald's and they meet the worst boss on earth who don't give them the hours, then they're just pouring into that, adversity that they've already been through. And they keep hitting, they break up with their first girlfriend or boyfriend, and that's, an adverse experience. So intervention is key, and really good intervention at a young age it's necessary.
And we all have the opportunity to intervene in little ways. We may not be aware of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you're a bus driver, bus drivers see so much and they do so much. But people don't understand how, giving them what they need as bus drivers to serve, as an intervention when they're seeing the household that these kids come from. So there's so many different, people that can get involved in small ways, but sometimes they need the skills and the tactics to be able to communicate, because a lot of people take it personal when a 14 or 12-year-old curses you out. And you don't blame them. But if we learn as a society that there are people going through things that we just can't explain. So
our guest this morning is Demarcus Copeland, founder and CEO of Impact. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the age group that Impact serves with more after these words.
The AP Scholar Journey at Oak Mountain Academy is designed to provide students with a clearly defined advanced placement curriculum track to earn a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically prepared students to pursue college-level studies throughout 17 AP courses in 5 subject categories while enrolled at OMA. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Demarcus Copeland, founder and CEO of Impact, and we're talking about Impact is molding passionate, active, creative kids. Tell us about the age groups that that you serve and how you divide them up and how you serve each different age group.
Sure. We start with 7 and go all the way up to 14. And we split those groups up 7, 8, and 9, and then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These groups are different, so we have to separate them. And we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then one group will come on Mondays and Wednesdays, the other group Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they all have their blocks of time. We separate them, on the basis of just with age, it just come different things. But what we do is we teach them all the same things, but the attention span is different with one age group. The older age group may be able to sit and focus longer than the younger age group. So, we try to switch out those age groups. And what we've learned over the years is just, when they turn 15 and they age out, they don't have to just go and find another program. They can actually volunteer right at 15. Mm-hmm. And then they volunteer from 15 to 16. Then they go off to college. If they go to West Georgia, they can volunteer still. And West Georgia gives them a certain amount of money per semester to volunteer with us because we have a partnership with them. And so it's a life, they can grow within the program and just continue to come back, and they do. We have some students that go off to college, we got one college kid that I miss so much. He was fantastic. He started off with us, then he volunteered with us in 4 years, and then he went to college, and he went to college 4 hours away. So he's no longer able to just volunteer with us.
But when they stay or come back to serve, that reinforces everything.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
now they're teaching and affirming how nothing more relatable than that.
Exactly. And it's fantastic. I mean, you wouldn't believe the success we've had with our kids. Once they come in, they don't want to go. Mm-hmm. So it just gives them more. And you don't always get programs that allow you to just, there's a lot of programs set up to where you can get hired and stuff and stay, but just a program that you can continue to grow with. And hopefully one day we get big enough to say, okay, you can open your own, mm-hmm. That's the goal, just later on in life when they get like 20, 22, they can have their first job and, own their own thing and keep going.
You've got something called the tunnel. What is that?
The tunnel is our primary location right now, and we call it the tunnel because of its location. And it's on North Park Street, if you're familiar with where Baloo's used to be or Church's Chicken, It's right in that shopping plaza. And from the back, you can see Alabama Street Community, but from the front, you can see the highway. So the kids some of the kids that come to our program, they walk and they come into the back door. And I knew that was going to happen because we have access through the back. And that's why we considered it to just be the tunnel, because once they come in and they go through our program, they go out better than they came in. And it's fantastic.
You got also something which I'm interested in called the book bar.
Oh, yeah, where kids can come in and they can get them a library book. So do
kids read still, or they just look at the cell phone?
No, they read. We have a no cell phone. We have no electronic policy.
Really?
We don't even have Wi-Fi.
We
had it, but then it was a distraction.
Boy, I bet they complain about that.
No, they did it in the beginning, but when they learned the boundaries that have been set, then they know, when they walk into this room, there's boundaries everywhere. You go in the movie theater, you don't just stand up, take pictures. So as long as they know the boundaries, they can kind of go with it. And they can live without Wi-Fi, believe it or not. They can live without internet access.
Do they like having boundaries?
Yes, kids love having boundaries. I think a lot of people don't understand boundaries create a safe space. It creates a community. And I think that's something we need to really hone in on in the classroom. Once you build that community with boundaries and structure, it's the same as having police in your own community and, judges and lawyers. These things create a safe environment. And anytime we're all in a safe environment, we feel more comfortable. We feel like we can walk the streets at night or in the daytime. I think that's important. So when I create boundaries at my program, it allows them to understand that, hey, I'm not going to get bullied here. I can be myself. I can play a game of Uno and laugh and joke. Mm-hmm. And creating that safe community, that safe space with boundaries, it makes the program so much better.
You can grow without boundaries.
Yeah.
You really can't. Okay, I mentioned COVID, I think. Obviously, COVID has changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
I could go on a rant about 6 feet and everything else associated with that. But obviously it must have changed your work in the lives of these kids. How did it change?
Well, when we when we first started, we learned that COVID changed the power dynamics. Because when a kid was out of school I think they got out in March and didn't go back till September, which gave them an enormous amount of time outside of that structured classroom. And what the structured classroom, what changed is you had more digital learning, and then you had no standardized test, and you had shorter attention spans. So when they came to me during that same time, I was getting the kids who were like, oh, this is my free time. I don't have to learn right now. And if I do learn, it's like 25 minutes on the computer. So we had to increase instructional engagement. And we had to get that respect back that we lost during COVID-19. And now schools are still trying to figure out how to rebuild that relationship between the instructor and the student, because the student has lost all respect and the instructor is really burning on two ends. It's trying to really trying to get that social emotional respect back, those basic, those basic learning cues back. It's really bad right now. But what we did as an organization is I got college students, I got a lot of volunteers, we got a lot of hands-on, and we had higher ratios, like it was 1 to 5. So for every 5 students, we had 1 adult. And so increasing ratios, increasing boundaries, decreasing like free time, like everything is instructional. Even if we sit down and play a game of Monopoly, it's completely instructional. So they're not just getting time to do whatever they want. We're continuing to nail in the idea that we're the instructor, you're the student. There is no free time unless you're out of here.
Well, what about, in addition just to COVID, but just the digital age, the cell phones, kids constantly, their brain is affixed to the cell phone, and what about carry on conversations, looking people in the eye, shaking hands? How are they doing with that?
The program Impact is excellent at creating a space where they feel comfortable enough to say something and not feel stupid. Stupid is probably an inappropriate word to use, but they can have conversations and not feel inferior. Even if they say the wrong thing, I never say, well, that doesn't sound right, but I am honest with them and say, well, could you think of it in a different way? So I think, as the digital age increases, we still have to increase the amount of time that they get to spend with actual human beings. We just have to continue to, and we increased our hours. Like when I started, we were like, the kids would come in at 3, they'd leave around 5, 6:30. Now it's 3 to 7. And so we're just increasing that time that they have in that space.
Well, I guess there's unlimited variety, but they all come from different family situations. Yeah. Some more challenging than others, I would assume.
Yeah, what we've learned is we have 4, like the demographic that we serve. Single parent households have been a big one. Very few in 2-parent household. I think very few in 2-parent household. Single mother household, 4% of the children we worked with has come from there. And then we've had a pretty good number from, I would say 90% of the students we work with deal with ACEs. But then on top of that, they come from poverty. A lot of kids come from poverty.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. And just the stress of going to school.
Yeah.
I mean, that in and of itself, is a challenge. 12 years of schooling is a lot.
But it could be the best years of your life if you have your, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you have to have food, water, shelter taken care of. And, if you have that taken care of, and you can come home to a safe space, and you can come home when you're going to have a meal, school isn't so bad. But when you're going to school and you have an empty stomach, and then you have to think about where you're going to have to go back to, it makes the learning environment very difficult for a student. And I think for me, I just had, I had my hierarchy of needs met when I was young. So going to school was a great place to be. But I couldn't imagine being a kid who, go home to extreme poverty or go to a hotel room after school or leave from a hotel to go to school. That would bother me.
Or even worse, go to an abusive environment.
Oh, yeah.
After school.
Yeah, so that's why you need Impact, which is,
there you go.
That gives them that outlet. We expose them to so many things. Like when they come, it's little to no cost. The most we'll charge is $15 a month for a child to receive service. But our overall goal is for it to be completely free. And now that we partner with Boost, we're able to give them that opportunity to come for free. But when they can come to a program and know I'm going to eat, I'm going to get me a snack. We may go on a field trip. We may go to the coffee shop on the square and sit down and have a cup of coffee. Gives them something to look forward to. And that's why, they need it if they're living in hotels, if they're living, in bad situations. They can look forward to coming here instead of going straight home.
Our guest this morning is Demarcus Copeland. We're on Facebook Live, the WLBB Facebook page. You can come back. We'll talk about goals and values a little bit more. Stay with us. We'll be back with more after this.
The customized academic scholar journey at Oak Mountain Academy is individually designed to provide students with a personalized, clearly defined academic track that earns the student a series of distinctions upon graduation. This journey enables academically driven students to pursue a focused, rigorous course of study personalized to their wants and desires. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us on the mountain. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us. Discover your journey at OMA. Prepare, explore, and achieve.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Raddick, your host. Delighted to have you with us. We're very pleased to have in studio Demarcus Copeland, founder and CEO of Impact. It's good to have Demarcus back. He was here pre-COVID, and we kind of lost contact, and glad to have him back, and hopefully we'll have him back many more times, and hopefully the community at large will reach out and join in to support Impact. One of the things that really keeps you going is you're very much lean toward goal setting, and getting the kids to set some goals and then go for it. You mentioned earlier in the program about it takes I think 50 feet to hit get a golf shot.
Yeah.
In my case, it's 10 feet, but you have to do it 15 times.
Yeah.
So. Tell us about the role of goal setting in the work of Impact.
Well, for me, I'll tell you how it all started for me, and that's why I got really fixated on goals. I was doing a Bible study all the time, and I was always, talking, but I would always talk about impact and my vision. And then I met this lady, and she sent me to Habakkuk chapter 7, which says, make the vision plain. So I sat down one day and wrote down everything I wanted to do. Every single thing. And then my brain started saying, okay, where can we find these opportunities for exactly what you need? And God really, all glory goes to God, because I felt like he just kept pushing and pushing and pointing me in the right directions. And I just started seeing how, God ain't gonna move a parked car. So you got to have goals. And when you have goals, it allows you to see, okay, that's next. And especially when your goals are in line. So what we teach the kids is, you have to make a plan for everything. Now, I'll tell you, I'll be the first to say, I hate planning. But I know the value of planning. And I just have these big picture goals and these big, broad goals. And that's my problem. I don't like the little goals, but the little goals make the biggest difference. So we try to push that into kids because they think society is pushing so much in their face digitally, and it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't connect. So they don't know that the world is literally connected, all connected. And there is a divine law to this. And if you work the law and if you work the plan, you can make it. But if you're just bouncing in ignorance and darkness, and you can't really see anything, then in that ignorance and in that darkness, you'll be taken advantage of. So we teach them to have a plan and have something that they're looking for.
And that translates over into work ethic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and laboring for your sustenance rather than, someday you may hit a hole in one, but most likely it's going to be
Yeah,
three or four shots to get there.
absolutely. And for me, it's been 4 years, and my whole goal was just sustainability and scalability, and it's been work. Like, you know how like a lot of these videos, you know, you get on Instagram and you can scroll, and they're going to show you a 5-minute clip of someone, I was homeless, and then this happened, and this happened, and now I'm successful. Well, that might have took 20 years, but when you say, I want to be an actor, I want to be the doctor, I want to be anything, what we teach them is, it's work. It ain't I just want to be a doctor. You just said I want to work really hard for 10 years, read every book on medicine I can get my hand on. That's what you're really saying. So what we're trying to teach the kids is, when you make this statement about what you want to be, you're not saying what you want to be. You're saying the work that you're going to do. This is going to be my life's work. This is what I'm going to work on the rest of my life. It's not, this is what I'm going to just wake up and I'm going to call myself a doctor. I'm going to get a $900,000 check a year. You know, no, you're saying I'm going to work really hard. I'm probably going to work 50-hour shifts. I'm probably going to do 10, 15 surgeries a month. I'm going to do a lot of like visits. So we teach them that the work is involved, not the goal is just the work. That's all it is.
Well, that's a glorious thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you have to pick the work you love that you don't mind doing. Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of work that I don't want to do.
Yeah. And life is very short. It's a vapor, and then it's gone. And if you work your entire life doing something you don't like or despise, poof,
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And very well said. We're going to run out of time. How can people support Impact?
They can go on impact.org and send all the money in their bank account. That'd be that's what we prefer. Just, go ahead and send everything you got.
Is wire transfer okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Check, money order.
Whatever they want to do. They can even come by I would encourage them to come by the building, though, and see it for themselves.
Yeah.
And just donate in person. But for now, we have a website called impact.org, MPACK.org. And they can click the donate button. It'll send them straight to PayPal, and they can donate straight from there. They need to do it today.
I have never heard it asked just like that.
Oh, listen. Got it. You have not because you asked not.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. And a shout out, you're growing, continuing to grow the board of directors. We talked about that when you first showed up.
Yep.
So there's probably an almost unlimited way people can help and participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So basically it's mainly just to contact you through the website.
Yep.
Impact.org. And just come by.
Yeah, absolutely. Just come on and help the kids out. Anything they give goes straight back into what we're doing. It goes into education. It goes into the community. It doesn't go in it's 100% 501c3 nonprofit. And with nonprofit laws, you can't even buy a pack of gum. So it's like everything goes back to the kids, back to the community, and we try to spend it all on them.
And you guarantee they will be rewarded if they do. And if they participate, they will walk away with all kinds of intangible and eternal rewards.
Absolutely. The kids, it's invaluable what they get. Like, you can't even put a price on how much progress we've seen with so many different things. Like, just, you wouldn't believe the problems that they have coming in. I mean, parents have died while kids have been in our program, and you wouldn't believe their social, emotional, strength during that time. So, yeah.
Great opportunity to serve.
Good ground to sow in.
There you go. Demarcus Copeland, we're going to have you back because I always enjoy having you coming in. This is only the twice time. Hopefully no more pandemics.
Yeah.
And we'll be good to go. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, Oak Mountain Academy, Tanner Health System. Go out and make it a great day. You're in tune to WLBB Carrollton.